Hi everyone, Steve from the Audiophiles. Thank you again for joining me today. Today, I want to show you all a $1 audiophile quality pressing. $1 in the dollar bin. I also have some other audiophile pressings. I think that if you guys are looking for great sounding, on a budget pressings, if you're in your local record store, crate digging, here's some ideas as well. So I want you to join me for that. And of course, stop, subscribe, look down. Please subscribe to my channel. As you guys all know, if you have subscribed to my channel already, I am going for 1,000 subscribers, and at that time, I'll be giving away not one, but 2 box sets. The first being the Beatles' 50th anniversary 3LP Abbey Road, and the second released October 15th, coming up soon. I'm excited about that. I'm also going to do a review on that box set as well, the Let It Be Super Deluxe box set. I'll be giving that one away once I hit 1,000 subscribers. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the other side. So there are deals out there. I mean, not every audiophile pressing or audiophile quality pressing is expensive, or some of you probably have budget, or some of the audiophile pressings that I've shown, I mean, are expensive, you know, and we all have budgets. And I mean, can be expensive collecting vinyl, especially audiophile pressings. And so today's episode, I want to show you one that if you are looking for great sounding quality audiophile pressings on the cheap, this is the episode for you. So I promised you a $1 quality audiophile pressing. Which one is it? Well, here it is. Tramps live in Paris. It was recorded in November of 1979. This is when Supertramp was at its absolute peak. Incredible sounding album. It was recorded using Supertramp's mobile, I think it's called the Mobile 8 recording studio, their own personal recording studio. Now, very well balanced, sounds incredible. Sounds, I think, way better live than in the studio. I know Roger Hodgins even said that he felt that his band Supertramp felt better live than it did in the studio. And I really think this album, you're listening to Supertramp at its absolute peak. Every song is incredible. It sounds brilliant, very balanced throughout. I mean, you got obviously Supertramp's known for their keyboards and their piano. That is really well balanced in the mix. It was really done well, especially for 1980. And here's the cool thing about this. Why I feel this is an audiophile sounding pressing is because it's mastered from the original master tapes from none other than Bernie Grundman. Grundman mastered this album. It sounds incredible. And there's also, actually, and I haven't been able to find it yet, there is an A&M, this is an A&M pressing. A&M has audiophile pressings as well, and I'll get to that a little bit later. And there is an A&M half-speed mastered pressing of this album that I can't find anywhere, but I mean, it is a Canadian pressing, and I would love to hear that one at half speed. But again, this one mastered by Bernie Grundman. It sounds great. If you're a Supertramp fan and you don't have it, pick this album up. And if you you have this, you probably will agree with me. It does sound great. I have no complaints about this. Especially side 4 of this album. Let me go to it too. I mean, side 4, you've got Take the Long Way Home, The Fool's Overture, Two of Us, and Crime of the Century. That is by far my favorite side of all 4 sides of this album. I could play that over and over because it just really hear the band at its peak as well. Incredible concert. Again, I mean, it was like I said, it was recorded in November of 1979 at the I guess it was a former slaughterhouse, Paris de Pavilion. It was called, or the Pavilion de Paris, I guess. And it was in front of 8,000 people. And you know, you can hear the crowd, but I mean, the crowd doesn't overpower any of the instruments or any of the vocals as well. And I love the rawness of the live concert. I think it's at the beginning of, I think it is at the beginning of Fool's Overture, if you know that song. A few of the notes were missed on the keyboard. I just love the fact that it's raw, and if you are a fan of Supertramp and you hear it live, I love the rawness of it. I love the sound of this album. It was, again, very well produced, very well engineered. You can find these for $1. Go crate dig. Crate dig. A Bernie Grundman mastered Supertramp album for $1. Find it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I love this album. Hopefully you guys pick it up or you have it already. Incredible. Now, if you're looking for other, I think, budget audiophile pressings that I recommend, I'm going to go through a few right now. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of a company, or it was a company formed in 1977 called Nautilus Recordings. They were marketed as an audiophile company. They came out with about 56 pressings in their time. I'm not sure when they disappeared, but I wanted to show you a couple of their pressings today. You might have recognized, this is called the Nautilus Half-Speed Mastered Superdisc. Kind of cool. You can see here. This is Heart, Dreamboat Annie. Now, and I also have, I'll show you this one as well. I also have the Fleetwood Mac Nautilus Half-Speed Master Superdisc. Now, these are, there's no pops or clicks. The vinyl is pure, very, very quiet. These were all digitally remastered. I want everyone to understand that, and so there's no debating it. It says it right on the back of the album as well. So what they've done is they've taken it from the master tapes, digitally remastered it, cut it at half speed on their vinyl, and it does sound really nice. I mean, really nice top end. Vocals are beautiful on all of these albums, both on the Heart and the Fleetwood Mac. You can really hear the drums, especially Nick Fleetwood's drums. Very clear, very precise, very smooth. These albums to me sound more like a CD, if that makes sense. So it's super clear. Doesn't have the bass though on either one of these that I own. Does not have the bass, doesn't have the bass. The bass seems a little bit bloated maybe, if that's the way I can describe it, but all in, like, beautiful top end. Very amazing and transparent mids as well. So if you're looking for really good budget audiophile pressings, I think you can pick these ones up probably for 30 to 50 bucks. I mean, if you can find them at your record store, have a look. I would probably, if it was me, I've got an original copy of Fleetwood Mac's. This is a Canadian copy here. I would stick with this one. This one sounds fantastic. But again, you can probably pick these ones up for 5 or 10 bucks. So I mean, if you're looking at something that's audiophile quality, again, boom. Get a original Fleetwood Mac Rumours. I know you guys out there, I mean, the Kevin Gray and the Steve Hoffman 45 cut, probably the preeminent one to own. I get that. I don't own it. It's very expensive, anywhere from what, 70 to upwards of $100 and up. So for 30 bucks, audiophile quality pressing, again, digitally remastered from the master tapes, half-speed mastered. I don't like the bass on this one, or even on the Heart one as well, but great albums. Especially the Heart one. It just sounds like a CD. I had both of these pressings that I have absolutely have no pops or clicks, and that was the one big thing that Nautilus was advertised was that they had no pops or clicks, and it was, you know, very clear and very precise vinyl, which it is, and I mean, I'll give them that, but it definitely doesn't sound whole or as raw as an original recording of you know, of these ones, especially if you were to compare it to my original Fleetwood Mac. I would take my original over this any day. So again, but again, if you find these anywhere for on the cheap, grab it. It's worth the price of admission. They're fun spins, and you know, I don't know how rare they are, but like I said, there's 56 of them that they actually pressed during their time. Have a look. There's another one too. I think it's an Eric Clapton live album as well, a double LP. That one looks interesting to me. I think there's a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young as well. So have a look at the list, and have a look at your local record store. Maybe you can come across one of these Nautilus Superdiscs. Not a bad find. Another great crate digging idea. This is Herb Albert's Rise. This is an audiophile pressing done in Canada by A&M Records. It's called the Audiophile series. This is a Herb Albert. This is the Rise album. You guys might have heard of it. Sounds great. Again, half-speed mastered. You can find these at your local record store. I know in Canada anywhere from probably $1 up to $10. Great sounding album. If you know the second track in this album, it's called Rise. It was one of his 2 hits, and it was also sampled in the song Hypnotized by Biggie Smalls. So pick this album up if you can find it. It sounds great. I mean, it's half-speed mastered. You can't go wrong with the price as well. I've really enjoyed it. I've never really been a big Herb Albert fan, but I found this one at my record store and tried it out, and I'm very happy that I have it. I mean, I picked this one up. I think it was a little bit more than $5. I think it was like $8 US, $11, $12 Canadian. So I'm really happy with the price of this one as well. But I mean, there's lots out there. Have a look. Again, I don't know the limit, the availability, or how many they've pressed to these audiophile pressings. And you can see behind me, I've got the Supertramp Crisis, What Crisis audiophile pressing as well. And that leads me to one last, I guess, I don't know, revelation maybe. I have to go back to this. I know I did a video on it back in July. This is Supertramp's A&M audiophile pressing produced in Canada. And Supertramp, guys, I mean, in Canada was one of the biggest bands. This album went on to sell 1 million copies for Canadian, that's huge for Canada, if anyone knows that. But I'm convinced, I've listened to this album 5 times, and then I went back to the Mobile Fidelity pressing. Both released in 1978, and we all know that Mobile Fidelity would need to get the licensing agreement from A&M. This is A&M audiophile pressing, half-speed mastered, released in 1978, half-speed mastered. I'm convinced, 100% convinced, that this album here was also mastered by Stan Ricker at half speed. There's no etchings in the dead wax or anything like that, but just by the sound of it, I am convinced that this is also a Mobile Fidelity pressing. So that's just my little revelation. I could be wrong, but just from the sound of it, I think that it is. But if you can find these guys go for, I don't know, 30 to 55 bucks. Really, really sound nice on JVC Super Vinyl, the same vinyl that Mobile Fidelity uses for theirs. So it's exactly the same pressing as this one. And I think probably too, these guys are a little bit more rare in terms of the amount of quantity. Again, I don't know how many they've pressed, but we know with Mobile Fidelity, they don't press any more than 200,000 of these albums based on their liner notes, and I have no idea what this one is at right now. But I'm convinced this is a Stan Ricker master as well. And you know from one of my last videos, I did find out that Supertramp's Even in the Quietest Moments audiophile pressing was mastered and cut by Stan Ricker as well. So very interesting. So guys, if you're looking for some great audiophile vinyl deals, take a look on Facebook. With the, we have got a MoFi and audiophile buy and sell vinyl club. Please join that as well. There's also a Mobile Fidelity audiophile auction as well through 8-Man Records. Have a look at them as well. Great stuff there. And until next time, guys, keep spinning that music and turning it up really loud.